On the night of June 30th, 1520, hundreds of Spanish conquistadors drowned in a lake, not from the water itself, but from the weight of the gold they refused to let go. They had just stolen the greatest treasure the Americas had ever seen, and in one catastrophic night, most of it disappeared forever. Today, that treasure would be worth over $3 billion, and despite 5 centuries of searching, almost none of it has ever been found. This is the story of Montezuma's treasure, the legendary Aztec gold that vanished during what the Spanish called La Noche Triste, the Night of Sorrows. It's a tale of conquest, greed, betrayal, and one of history's most spectacular losses. And somewhere beneath modern Mexico City, that treasure might still be waiting. The year was 1519. Hernán Cortés, a Spanish conquistador with just 600 men, landed on the coast of what is now Mexico. His goal was simple: find gold and claim it for Spain. What he discovered was beyond anything Europeans had imagined. The Aztec Empire, a sophisticated civilization of millions, ruled by Emperor Montezuma II from the magnificent island city of Tenochtitlan. When Cortez entered Tenochtitlan in 1519, he was stunned. The island city of 200,000 people was larger than any European city, with towering pyramids, bustling markets, and gold everywhere. Montezuma, believing Cortez might be the god Quetzalcoatl, welcomed him with incredible gifts: gold masks, emerald jewelry, feathered headdresses, and solid gold discs the size of wagon wheels. The Spanish had never seen such wealth. But Cortez wanted more than gifts. He wanted everything. Cortez took Montezuma hostage and systematically gathered treasure for months. The conquistadors melted down priceless artwork, stripped temples of gold, and demanded tribute from nobles. Historical accounts describe rooms filled with gold plates, figures, precious stones, and jade. The value was impossible to count. Modern historians estimate the treasure Cortez accumulated would be worth between $2 and $3 billion today. But he would never get it back to Spain. Everything changed in June 1520. While Cortez was away dealing with a rival Spanish expedition, his lieutenant Pedro de Alvarado ordered a massacre of Aztec nobles during a religious festival. The city exploded in rage. When Cortez returned, he found himself trapped in Tenochtitlan with thousands of furious Aztec warriors surrounding the Spanish position. Montezuma tried to calm his people, but they pelted him with stones. He died shortly after, whether from his wounds or Spanish hands remains unknown. Now Cortez faced an impossible situation. His men were vastly outnumbered, supplies were running low, and the Aztecs had cut off the causeways. The only option was to escape under cover of darkness, taking as much treasure as they could carry. This is where human greed turned disaster into catastrophe. Cortez officially divided the treasure among his men, but he knew they couldn't carry much. He warned them explicitly: "Take too much gold, and it will kill you." Some listened, though most didn't. Conquistadors loaded themselves down with as much treasure as they could carry, filling their pockets, boots, and clothes with gold coins, jewelry, and precious objects. On the rainy night of June 30th, 1520, Cortez attempted his escape. The Spanish call it La Noche Triste, the Night of Sorrows. The Aztecs call it the beginning of their revenge. The escape was a bloodbath. Aztec warriors attacked from all sides as the Spanish fled across the causeways. In the darkness and chaos, men fell into the lake, and the gold they carried dragged them straight to the bottom. Those who dropped their treasure had a chance to swim. Those who held on drowned within seconds. Spanish chronicler Bernal Diaz del Castillo, who survived the night, described watching his companions disappear beneath the black water, still clutching bags of gold. He wrote that the lake bottom must be paved with gold and the bodies of Spaniards. By morning, over 600 Spanish soldiers were dead, along with thousands of their indigenous allies. And most importantly, for treasure hunters, most of the treasure was gone, scattered across the bottom of Lake Texcoco and the causeways of Tenochtitlan. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. That's not the only Aztec treasure that vanished. According to persistent legends, when the Spanish first invaded, Montezuma sent the empire's most sacred and valuable treasures away for safekeeping. Some accounts claim he ordered priests to hide the treasures in secret tunnels beneath the city. Other stories say the treasures were taken far from Tenochtitlan, perhaps to caves in the mountains or buried in remote temples. The legends still persist to this day. So what happened to all that treasure? Where is it now? After Cortez eventually conquered Tenochtitlan in 1521, the Spanish systematically destroyed the city, building modern Mexico City on top of its ruins. Lake Texcoco was gradually drained over the centuries. Some pieces have surfaced. In 1981, construction workers in Mexico City discovered a cache of gold bars believed to be from Cortez's lost treasure. The bars matched Spanish accounts of ingots made from melted Aztec artwork. But this was a tiny fraction of the total. The famous Aztec gold calendar stone that tourists visit in Mexico City's National Museum? That's actually carved stone, not gold. The real gold treasures are still missing. The incredibly detailed Aztec goldwork that once amazed the Spanish, nearly all of it was melted down. What little survived is scattered in museums worldwide, worth far more as artifacts than as raw gold. The real treasure, if you want to call it that, might be the archaeological record buried beneath Mexico City. Every year, construction projects uncover new Aztec ruins and artifacts. The city sits atop layers of history, and somewhere in those layers may lie caches of treasure that were hidden or lost during the conquest. Modern expeditions have used ground-penetrating radar to search beneath the Templo Mayor, finding chambers and tunnels but no treasure, or at least none announced publicly. But you can't exactly go digging in one of the world's largest cities searching for gold. The Mexican government controls all archaeological sites. Any discovery would belong to the nation. This isn't pirate gold, it's cultural heritage stolen during conquest. And that brings us to an important question. Even if the treasure were found, who would it belong to? The Aztecs' descendants are today's Mexican people. The treasure represents their cultural heritage, torn from their ancestors by foreign invaders. The idea of treasure hunters finding it and claiming ownership is morally questionable at best. This is why most serious archaeologists focus on artifacts' historical and cultural value rather than their gold content. What makes the lost Aztec treasure so compelling isn't just its monetary value, it's what it represents. Those golden artifacts weren't just wealth. They were masterpieces of art and engineering created by one of the world's great civilizations. When the Spanish melted them down for easier transport, they destroyed irreplaceable cultural treasures. The real loss isn't the gold itself. It's the artistic and historical legacy that can never be recovered. Today, the story of Montezuma's treasure remains one of history's most tantalizing mysteries. $3 billion in gold and jewels, lost in a single night of chaos. Some of it lies beneath Mexico City, buried under centuries of urban development. Some may have been hidden in locations that remain secret to this day. And some, perhaps most, was probably recovered piece by piece over the centuries and melted down, its historical context lost forever. The conquest of the Aztec Empire changed world history. It destroyed one civilization and enriched another. And in the middle of that world-changing event, during one terrible night in 1520, one of the greatest treasures ever assembled simply vanished. The treasure they died for is still out there, or at least, the legend of it is. And as long as that legend persists, people will keep searching for Montezuma's gold. If you're fascinated by lost treasures and the mysteries of ancient civilizations, hit that subscribe button. Next time, we're diving into the Lost Dutchman's gold mine and the curse behind it. You won't want to miss it.